this show on the road for the fourth hour today. Let's see. Yes, this is the fourth show today. That is correct for any out there. As you jump on. There we go. What's going on, Brandon? How is it? How's it going, man? How is it going? You doing well? Hello, Louisa. How are you? Cynthia. Hello. Linda in South Carolina. Hello. Hello, Brandy and Michelle in Jacksonville. Jax. What's up, Christy? What's up? This is my last hour today, and then I'm toast. All right. Richard in Kentucky. Welcome. Deborah in Atlanta. Hello, Michelle Booth. How are you? Denise in Alabama. Excellent. How is it going? Yeah, today was a busy day. Welcome to my new Mondays. I'm not going to do it that crazy anymore, though, because that's a lot. But it's okay. We had fun. Tatiana, hello. Ciao. Lisa, welcome. Amanda in Cleveland. Good. Jordana from D.C. Joseph in Washington. Desiree in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is going red. That's my assumption. Yes, today is my first live back from YouTube prison. I met a lot of nice people in prison. They were kind. They did not assault me. They were wonderful, and I'm out. What's going on? Annie voted in Palm Bay, Florida. Awesome. Christine in Michigan. Renee in Denver. You got to flip Colorado red. They're claiming it's going to be blue, but really? Hello, Deanna. Brooksville, Florida. Welcome. Caesar in New Jersey. Could New Jersey even ever go red? I just always kind of expected them to be blue. Let's see. Judy in Chattanooga. Beautiful. Gold Beach, Oregon. That sounds cool, Iris. Is Trump's in Kenosha? Wisconsin. Flip Cali red. Dr. Tanya, I agree. 100%. We're going to talk about California tonight a little bit. Julia, California here. Excellent. I saw Texas as well. Adele in Melbourne, Australia. Denver will be blue. Yes, Denver is blue. I have a good friend who practices chiropractic in Denver, and he's like, it's blue in the city, but the rest of the state is beautiful red. It's funny because blue is my favorite color. Not red. Red used to be my favorite color. Now blue is my favorite color. But I vote red. That is correct. Brad in Lincoln, Nebraska. What is going on? Hello there. Constance is helping flip California. Beautiful. Excellent. Awesome. Beautiful. Welcome to the show. This is Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. I actually feel a little weird tonight. I've had so many interviews lately, even at night, that like my doing a solo show again is like I had to get my bearings about me and how I do it. And then I was out of town. So it was weird there, even though it was a solo show. Like I feel like this is the first solo I've been back in my home studio, which is just a little weird, that's all. But it's all good. It's all good. So this is what we're going to do tonight, because tomorrow night is going to be a marathon. So we're going to have a little fun tonight. We're going to be a little motivated, but we're not doing a marathon tonight because I did a marathon today. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to announce this right now. I don't officially know when we're starting tomorrow. I'm going to assume somewhere around 7 or so. I thought about doing most of the day, but you don't have to because really stuff doesn't start coming in until 7 o'clock anyway, 7:30 maybe. So the show, the fun and games and the fireworks doesn't really start until after 7 o'clock. So, but I will say I will be on from about between 7 and 8 to start until the show's over. So if that means they call it at 10, 11 o'clock at night, or they call it at midnight, or they call it at 1 or 2 a.m., I will do my best to keep here all the way through. Now, if it's like midnight, 1 a.m., and they're like, hey, this thing isn't going to get called, I'm not going to sit on here all night, but we will be going as long as humanly possible tomorrow night, deeming what's necessary, obviously. Okay, but that is the goal. I have some special guests coming on. I have some from the past that I've had on already. I have some new ones coming on, and then I'm going to work to also have some call-ins, okay? Now, I do not have a producer right now. I'm the whole show, right? I don't have a producer to screen calls like Rush Limbaugh or Levin or Hannity or any of those guys. So I'm going to warn you, okay? We'll have to keep the call-ins to a minimum tomorrow. I can't go crazy on them. Even the guests are only coming on for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. They're not going to be long interview styles. It's more just going to be the call-in show, and you're going to have some fun with it, okay? And then if I do have you call in, what I'll do is I'll give the information to you how you call me, because I can actually set my phone up to here, but I'm not giving my phone number, sorry. I'll have you probably call into Skype or a Google number or something like that, and we'll do it that way. But I would like to have some call-ins and see if we can do that. And even if someone is, at a site where there's a little chaos, or there's even something great going on, maybe we'll even have you Skype in via video. I can take Skype calls on this, and I can send links to have people come in. So we will do that. But yeah, I don't want to have, I love all of you, but just like in a radio show, like you got to be kind of short and to the point. So if we do call in, it'll be pretty quick. It won't be like 10, 20 minutes long, all right? So that's how we have to work it, because there's also a lot of content. I want to cover as much for you as I can. Also, I know there's a lot of other shows going on out there. I mean, Joe Rogan and Alex Jones are getting together for a live show. So I'm not saying that for you to go see them. I'm just saying we got to keep it moving along, and I want to keep it as compelling, but also informative as humanly possible, okay? So that's what we're going to do, and I have some really cool people coming in tomorrow. One that has never been on before, and he actually is a pretty distinguished individual, so that'll be fun, and we'll go from there. So that'll be a blast. I'm looking forward to that. So that will be election night tomorrow night, live all the way through, as far as we can go, and we're just going to have fun, all right? So that means tonight, I'm going to go a little shorter tonight, probably like maybe 10 o'clock, a little after, depending on how much I get through here, the videos, and get through some information. We're just not going to go crazy tonight, because we're going to go crazy tomorrow night, okay? I hope you love, first of all, we had Fred Deshefsky on this morning talking about gold and silver, and basically parting messages. Have your gold and silver. Don't take all the cash out of your bank. It doesn't make sense. And then no matter what happens the next couple days or week, don't burn and loot. Now, obviously, you folks out there, the noble patriots, you don't do that. That's not your mentality. But if someone sees this out there, if this video happens across your path on any one of the streaming networks or the website, do me a favor. Just be kind. And looting and trashing things is not the way to go. It never has been. It never will be. Okay? Just want you to know that. All right? So let's get to it tonight. We have a couple cool little videos I want to show you. Let's start off with the President of the United States.
Our movement is about, and when I say corrupt, I'm talking about totally corrupt political establishment with a new government by you, the American people. There is no.
I have a feeling there's no audio there, so let me recheck that. I have a feeling there was no audio on that, so give me 1 second. Let me get that corrected real fast. Yeah, there was no. Yeah, I'm gonna fix the sound on that. Hold on 1 second. Let me get that worked on real quick, because this is what happens when Dr. Dean has tons of interviews, because it doesn't work as well as it should, and I have to then transfer over. Let's try this again. I just killed the whole, the whole climax of that. Hold on a second. That was so good. I had you all keyed up and set up for it too. It should have been so much better than that.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt, and when I say corrupt, I'm talking about totally corrupt, political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. There is nothing the political establishment will not do, no lie that they won't tell, to hold their prestige and power at your expense. And that's what's been happening. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. As an example, just one single trade deal they'd like to pass involves trillions of dollars controlled by many countries, corporations, and lobbyists. For those who control the levers of power in Washington, and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat, like they haven't seen before.
So that was actually from 2016. That was actually way before any of this actually this occurred. That's what's actually funny about that. That was from 2016, when he was actually obviously elected the first time, when they were not expecting everything to occur that did occur. So quite fascinating about that, I think. But we're now going into the new one where he, depending on how this works out, okay, depending on how this works out, basically he's going to drain the swamp, I think, over the next 4 years, because there was actually an article. I didn't save it for you guys. There was actually an article that he said today or yesterday, or there was a press release type thing put out. He said that they were going to probably clean house again in the administration. Meaning, you're going to see another cleaning of a house, which is insane because a lot of the pundits are going to claim that he doesn't know what he's doing, that he's out of control and everything else, and that the fact that if he does clean house again after reelected, you are going after full-blown the entire media conglomerate and the deep state fully. So yes, he is going after more of the deep state. That is what he's claiming. Now, I have this other video. I have a couple videos here I want to show you because we are setting the tone for the next, not 4 years. We're setting the tone for probably the rest of my lifetime, your lifetime out there, and then what our children are going to experience. And I know that sounds dire and it sounds grandiose, but I'm going to tell you, this is not another 4-year election. I know that's a cliche that Q uses, and I'm not even talking about Q. I am talking about this is not the global reset, but this is a reset of government. This is hopefully the restoration of the republic. And I told my in-laws and my wife last night, I said, keep in mind, if the gold fringe, no matter what occurs after this election, if that gold fringe does not come off those flags, we didn't win. We didn't really win. And I'm going to tell you right now, if a year from now, everyone's all excited because President Trump was elected and everything is so great and wonderful, if that gold fringe didn't come off the flag, guys, sorry. I am going to have to go after the president and those involved unless they start tearing down the entire system, because that gold fringe is our slavery. That is maritime admiralty law. I can never say the word. We need to go back to civil law, civilian law. That's what we're supposed to be. This is not law of the sea. Okay? We need to restore the constitutional republic. Okay? It is not tradition. It is the law that binds you to slavery. That's what it is. Okay? So, just keeping in mind, that's where we have to go. They had you in slavery. These next two videos are a little bit about the slavery that they have you in.
This is the only time that I have a platform to say something. And I've had something on my mind. It's affected me and a lot of people that I love. And I'm going to take a lot of criticism for saying what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyways because I feel it needs to be said. I was driving by elementary school the other day, and I seen all these kids outside. They're trying to play on the playground. They're trying to run around. They're trying to swing on the monkey bars, go down a slide, and wrestle and play tag, and they all got masks on. And I see them out there, some of them taking their mask off so they can breathe fresh air. They get fresh air in their lungs when they take the mask off. And then you got a teacher walking around pointing at them saying, oh, put your mask on, put your mask on, put your mask on. And that makes me sick that these kids can't get fresh air, and they're 8 hours a day. They're sitting 6 feet apart from each other, and they can't breathe fresh air. I don't agree with that. And I just want to tell Asa Hutchinson, I think you need to have a little bit of backbone because we did not vote for none of that. There was no vote that said we want our kids in masks, we want to wear masks, we want our businesses shut down, we want our restaurants at half capacity, we want our gyms at half capacity. And I just don't know who he thinks he is telling us that we have to shut down our businesses or shut our businesses to half capacity without a vote. There was no vote. And if he likes shutting down people's businesses and he likes telling people what to do, he can go to California because they'll love him over there. That's what they do over there. The government's all up in people's business over there, and we don't want to live like that. And I'm just asking to get our freedoms back, and I don't think that's much to ask for. What I'm saying is make the mask optional in Arkansas. For people who own restaurants and people who own businesses, make it optional. Why tell somebody they have to wear a mask? What if they don't want to, or what if it affects their breathing negatively and gives them headaches? You know? And here's another theory I got. If your mask works so well, why are you worried about if I'm wearing one? Don't you got one on? Why does it matter? If they work so good, why are you worried if I got one? You wear one and you worry about you. Okay? And if you think you're going sick, stay home. If you think you're going to get sick, stay home. That's all I'm saying. And I think that taking away our liberties and taking away our freedoms without a vote, I don't.
We talk about what the new normal will look like. As I said, normal it will not be, at least until we had herd immunity and we have a vaccine.
Now we need to go and look in families to find those people who may be sick and remove them and isolate them, because lockdowns alone will not work.
For the world at large, normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population.
Wake up!
First state to immunize, vaccinate everybody. That's our goal.
Johnson & Johnson is, their vaccine candidate trial is on pause. It seems like we're reporting some of this stuff every week. Pause due to unexplained illness.
They're skipping key parts of the test. The Moderna vaccine, which is the lead candidate, skip the animal testing altogether.
The trials that they have done on animals in the past, the ferrets died and the mice and rats got terribly sick, and when they sacrificed the animals and looked at their internal organs, they saw accelerated autoimmunity.
Stat News reporting a woman in the United Kingdom who received the vaccine experienced neurological symptoms consistent with the rare but serious spinal inflammatory disease called transverse myelitis.
I am so concerned about this vaccine. I don't think people can recover from it, and I think it's suicide to take the COVID-19 vaccine.
Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread the disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. If you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm.
This is the time now, the Great Awakening, but we must bond together. I've become a single issue voter. Every single politician that I am going to vote for, I ask them one question: how do you feel about mandated vaccines? If their answer is, I'm not sure, then I go next. I want someone who's going to say to me, I stand for sovereignty and medical freedom.
Wake up!
So while I was gone, yes, I have a mute button that I get all handy with. That's why I was muted before. I didn't turn my mute off. I turned mute off when the video's on just to be safe. And Facebook kicked me off. Awesome. Let me check this real quick while you're all there. Yes, Facebook kicked me off for God knows what reason. At this point, who knows? Maybe they decided to go freaking crazy. And yep, they blocked it for whatever reason. I have no clue, but it's blocked. They got rid of, let's see. And Facebook kicked me off. And they lied. And anyway, big deal. Facebook dropped the live, so you better go to YouTube or the website because they clearly do not like truth for some reason, and whatever. It is what it is. So that's why this is going to be a faster show tonight. This is why I tell you to get the hell off of social media and go to the network, okay? Because there you go, right? And I will tell you, I checked out everything, and there is nothing in there that they should take down. So, couldn't tell you. Welcome to their stupid little rules, all right? And you know what's funny? This is the hilarious part. So every once in a while, Facebook will drop me if there is a logo or there's a video that they'll claim copyright violations, yet I can play CNN, NBC, CBS, etc. all day long. I can play anything I want on YouTube, and YouTube won't pull anything. But Facebook gets all freaking crazy, right? So, go to the network. That is the place to be. I've been telling you for a long period of time. YouTube is still live right now, and it is all good. Now, let me show you a few other little things you might want to keep an eye on, which is, wait, I thought MAGA was all about racism. Let me show you how racist MAGA is.
Silence. Who are we? Who? Warriors standing in the gap. Aye. And in unity pushing the system back. Aye. Declaring that California will be the true state of liberty. Aye. Where freedom rings. Aye. New change brings. Aye. Healing to a people. Aye. Under one true nation. Aye. Under God. Aye. Indivisible. Aye. Liberty. Aye. Justice. Aye. For all. USA! 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 USA!
I'm telling you, no one has seen what we're seeing right now. Here are the Vietnamese in Silicon Valley. Check out the Vietnamese. The Vietnamese, I saw clips yesterday of the Japanese. I saw clips of Chinese. Last night in Opelika, the Cubans, the Hispanics, the Venezuelans, all the Latin, they're all coming out in droves, right? They're coming out in droves. Last night in Opelika, which is very South Florida, would they have like 30,000 plus last night? These are people that fled communism, right? You think they like blue down there? No. Right? Let me tell you, the minorities, I even hate calling them the American minorities just because there's less populations. These people fled dictatorships. They fled full-blown slavery, communism, socialism. Let me tell you, if these folks come out to vote, these legalized citizens, these immigrants, the Democrats are freaking screwed. Like, you have no idea. The gig is up. This thing is literally going to be... I'm going to talk about numbers in a minute, but let me tell you, if these folks come out, you are not going to see a red wave. You will see for lack of a better word, no pun intended, anything around the world, but you're going to see a red tsunami. This is completely insane, crazy. And then you have certain states that are kicking in. Here is California.
I just want to tell you guys that we are in this together. This is the United States of America. This is not a slave state. This is not draconian measures. This is all about America. I guarantee you, when I become mayor, you're not going to be running around with masks. It's not going to happen. Never. We're going to go back to work because the small businesses need to go back to work. We're going to give great tax incentives to move people back into the buildings. So don't get too comfortable on Zoom with your big corporations, because those big corporations are going to be taxed. They're going to be taxed so heavily that they're going to have to go back to work.
That is Beverly Hills, California. Beverly Hills, California. You are watching... There's the biblical aspect of this that we're going to watch unfold the next couple months. And yeah, it doesn't all end tomorrow. It doesn't end next week. It's going to unfold the next couple months. But what you're watching right now is something that this country has never seen. You are watching history unfold in front of you. You are... I don't know if I can bring it up. I didn't bring it up earlier, which was a lot of people have been talking about this. Was Ronald Reagan, his re-election map, and it's been talked about before, and how crazy his 80, I think it was 1984. Let me show you this real quick. This was disgusting. 1984. I mean, in a good way, disgusting. Like, holy cow. 1984. Now, that's crazy. That's like crazy talk right there. All right, and I honestly, I hadn't really known about that. I knew it was like a blowout, but I never really looked it up. That's insane. So, even though I say not likely to have 50 states, it could be. I mean, it's very possible that it could be, because that's, again, insane. Completely insane. Now, here is, I'm going to take you to Greg Rubini in his Twitter page, okay? And I'm going to be winding down. I have one last big video to show you that I want you to watch before we head out tonight and head into tomorrow. But here is Greg Rubini, okay? Really good one to watch, at gregrubini.com, or at Greg Rubini. At Greg Rubini is his handle. This is his pinned post. All right, look at this. This is what he thinks could happen. 461 to 77 if Trump wins California, and this leaves New York out. I think personally New York is gone. I am very disappointed to say that as a native New Yorker, but I think New York is gone. I really do. I think Vermont flips to red personally. Massachusetts, I could say blue. But this is what he's predicting, possibly 461 to 77 as a complete landslide. Okay, so obviously these are his tweets, all right? He also believes, and this, I didn't even think about this, Pompeo, where were the emails? The emails never came out before the election. He's calling Pompeo a liar and a fraud, and that he will be gone. I don't know. He just posted that tonight. Here you go. Here you go. What does this have to say? Let's watch this one just for the hell of it.
In fact, America should not fear our enemies. In fact, we should clearly define our enemies, face them head on, and then defeat those that seek to threaten our country and our way of life. Tonight, we stand together as proud patriots who deeply love our country and believe in the principles of freedom, democracy, and liberty. USA, you darn right, get it going. USA, USA. USA, get fired up. This is about this country. This is about the future of our children. We know that America, our nation, is the greatest country in the history of the world. Donald Trump will execute the fundamental tenet of peace through strength. And there will be no apologies for our American exceptionalism or leadership standing around the world. So once again, wake up, America. You cannot sit this one out. You cannot sit this election out. Get out of your houses and get out there and vote. And instead, elect Donald Trump as the next president of the United States of America. Thank you very much, and God bless America.
That speech literally could be the same exact speech right now. That's how crazy that is. Greg Rubini tweeted that one about 3 hours ago. So follow Greg. He's really good. He's been retweeting tonight. Just lots of good stuff here. And yes, the National Guard is coming in. The National Guard is now in 12 states, I believe. 12 states. There you go. The National Guard deployed in 12. DC, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, Brooklyn, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio. Those are the cities that we know of. There may be more. There may be more, okay? Also a good one is Jack Posobiec. I always mispronounce his name. Really good dude, all right? He is doing a lot of different stuff out there. There's actually the election night coup d'etat plot exposed. There's groups that plan to siege the White House and take over major cities throughout the United States, including Washington, D.C., starting on election night. So you have to know this stuff is going on. These are really good ones to follow. I mean, Twitter, honestly, here, look, the Twitter feed, just go on Twitter and start looking. Just check stuff out. These are the people that I follow. All right, you just gotta look. You gotta watch. There is so much coming out right now. It's unbelievable. What are these people saying?
Hawkfish is a company that's started by Michael Bloomberg, that does work for the DNC, that's doing work for pro-Biden super PACs.
So the Red Mirage, I'm not going to play all that. The Red Mirage is what they're calling it. They're basically making it sound like, all right, they're making it sound like they're going to blame some other crap on, here's Papadopoulos. Okay. All right, so there's Levin. Everyone's on fire tonight on Twitter. Twitter's going to be crazy the next week. Hey, there's me. Okay. So I'm going to end, not right now. I'm going to end on this last video. But before I end on the video, because the video is fitting to end on, I just want to say that most have no idea what is coming after this election. They are trying to scare us into a great reset. They're trying to scare us into disease. Obviously, we're all awake here on this show. We know what's going on. But they're trying to scare us into lockdowns, into shutting businesses down, etc. And as I have said in the past, I'm going to restate this again tonight. I'm not looking at Trump as a savior. Trump is not going to fix this by himself. He requires us to fix. It always will. It doesn't matter how good a president is. Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, any other party you want to call it. It doesn't matter how good a president is, how good a leader is. The change does not come from them. You cannot depend on the president of the United States to stop a mask mandate, stop mandatory vaccines, stop anything. You cannot depend on Q. You can't worship Q or the president, all right? You worship your God. You worship your Savior. I'm not going to define that for you because everyone is a free sovereign being. I don't step on people's beliefs. There's only one belief I step on, that is the Vatican, and that's not the Catholics, by the way. The Catholics are amazing people. I step on the thing that suppresses them, right? But the president is not to be worshipped. Q is not to be worshipped. And I'm not telling you not to worship. I'm just saying that's not what this is for. This is for us to move forward as sovereign individuals, sovereign beings of a republic, right? Yes, we live in a democracy from a representative standpoint, but we live in a constitutional republic, a constitution that has been subverted. All right, so when the president says democracy and when Flynn says democracy, they're not talking about, it's not because they don't know, they're talking about the representative. We're represented in a democratic form, but we live in a republic, a constitutional republic. And going forward, I don't know if elections will ever be the same after this, because I'm going to tell you right now, after this is over, if this goes the direction we believe it's going to go, even if it doesn't, no matter what happens, the entire planet changes starting tomorrow. It will be different forever. There is no more back to normal. There is no more pre-COVID. There isn't. We know, even if everything goes perfectly right the rest of the way, we have changed not only as a nation, but we have changed as an entire planet. You are a free and sovereign being, and you have to start acting like a free and sovereign being. You make your decisions, but yeah, do we all go forward as one? Yes, as a consciousness. But you still have to take care of yourself. You still have to take care of your family first. And that is the way America was designed. We do not resort to violence. You all know that, right? We do not resort to violence unless attacked first, or a looks like attack, basically, right? If someone is attempting to attack, then yes, fight back. There's people out there, libertarian, anarchists, etc., who think it's the system and the vote doesn't matter. Guess what? Go on to a different channel then. I'm sorry. I don't buy that. Right? Are we in a system right now? We are in a system. We're in a system of slavery by debt, by bankers, and by the top of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, which we've talked about so many times. But if you don't want to be part of this nation and you want to just bitch about the system all day long, then go somewhere else, right? And you can do what you want to, but then don't tell everyone else what they're supposed to do, right? We believe it's our duty to vote for elected leaders in our country because that's what our Constitution is. And you can say, oh, well, the Constitution was developed by founders and they're slave owners and they're Masons, etc. Wait a second. I think we've all agreed that the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, all of our founding documents, Bill of Rights, are pretty damn divine, almost perfect, led by God documents. And so the system can be dismantled, and that is what we're voting for, is the system to be dismantled. We're not asking our elected officials to do it all themselves. It is on our shoulders as well. But guess what? You bring leaders in to get jobs done. All right? Maybe you're a leader in your community. Great. Well, we have leaders in Washington right now who need to start doing it properly. So I urge you to vote if so called on to do that. I appreciate if you do, especially if you're voting red, because we need to make sure this goes the right way. And then when the winner is called and it goes our way, that doesn't mean to sit back and relax and take it easy and, oh, the president's got it all, no big deal. No. From the beginning of this forward to today forward, etc., guess what? If you are part of this movement, you are no longer allowed to take a back seat in this nation. Turn off the television. Stop watching TV 1, 2, 4, 6, 10 hours a day or the weekend. Enough. Cut it out. Cut it out. We have found out what Hollywood is all about. Cut out the BS. Turn it all off. We have changed. We dropped our responsibility from the day we were born. You could be like, well, I didn't know. Doesn't matter. That's victim mentality. You do know now. It is time to pick up the responsibility, take it forward, and now you better now consider yourself to be a around-the-clock, producing, researching, knowledge-grabbing individual in this country. If you are not studying your history and your Constitution and your Declaration of Independence, if you're not studying routinely now, then you're part of the problem. Because guess what? This president seems to like to work a lot. Guess what, folks? All these millennials who are under 30 years old, the ones who don't like to work so much because they've been taught in their Marxist institutions that everything will be handed to them, guess what? It's time to get to work. Guess what? Your fingers are going to be tired. They're going to hurt. They might bleed. You might be a little exhausted from a full day of work, right? No bitching, no whining, no crying. You know what? If one job's beating you up and you got some bleeding going on, maybe you need a second job or a third job so you can build the calluses up. Because guess what? I'm 43. My friends are in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, and I know people out there who make a crap load of money, and yet they're still working 2 and 3 and sometimes 4 jobs, or they're running 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 plus companies. So wait, they have more money than most, yet they're the ones putting in 60, 80, 100 plus hours a week of work like myself and others. Why? Because, and on top of that, they still find time to study. They still find time to be better. They still find time to get a vacation. They still find time to spend with their spouse and their children. Why? That's called purpose. Going forward, I don't care what the president is. It's time to get to work. It's time to produce. It's time to develop an amazing nation and an amazing planet. And guess what? No matter which God or Savior you follow, they all told you to get to work. So this is what we're going to do. Now, I finish you off with this last video.
America is a land of heroes, a place where greatness is born, where destinies are forged, and where legends come to life. This is the home of Thomas Edison and Teddy Roosevelt, of many great generals, including Washington, Pershing, Patton, and MacArthur. This is the home of Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers, Neil Armstrong, and so many more. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo. The American nation was carved out of the vast frontier by the toughest, strongest, fiercest, and most determined men and women ever to walk on the face of the earth. Our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, laid down the railroads, dug out the canals, raised up the skyscrapers. Our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before. This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance. We are Americans. We are pioneers. We are the pathfinders. We settled the new world. We built the modern world, and we changed history forever by embracing the eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God. America is the place where anything can happen. America is the place where anyone can rise. And here, on this land, on this soil, on this continent, the most incredible dreams come true. This nation is our canvas, and this country is our masterpiece. We look at tomorrow and see unlimited frontiers just waiting to be explored. Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling stories are not yet told. Our grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come.
With that, I leave you on this Monday night, and I let you know, get some rest tonight. Get some rest, because if you thought the last 7 to 9 months were taxing, if you thought they were a little bit tiring, maybe even exhausting, I'm not gonna argue with you. Trust me. I've pushed this body, quite a bit. But you know what? It's the least I can do. It's the least you guys can do. And guess what? If you think this is over tomorrow or this week, it is not. I told you it will get worse before it gets better, and you have not seen the worst yet. You are most likely going into it right now after tomorrow and this week when you see the results come back. So get rest, because not only tomorrow night will be a late night, and I will be here for the duration, as far as I know. You're going to need to be able to run the marathon over the next several months going into next year before we can claim true victory, because I hate using the word war. I don't like war, but we are in the silent war, and we need to rebuild the entire system. But to rebuild the entire system, you have to tear down the system to do it, and that is what you're going to start seeing. But the fireworks are going to start tomorrow, because we are heading into the most pivotal time in our lifetimes. I was around for obviously Cold War and everything, but I didn't know what was happening. But now this is not for just America. This is for the world. This is for the planet. If you've watched Janet's Fall of Cabal, if you watched any other documentaries or movies that are similarly tied to it, you'll know this is for everything. They're deep, they're dark people. They've been running this show for not the last 100 years, not the last 1,000. They've been running this show for thousands of years. And it's time to take it back. I wish you guys all a wonderful, great, refreshing evening. And I will see you tomorrow night. Until then, this is Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network. Please, as always, go out, serve, and help your fellow man tomorrow.